It's really hot in here. Plus I worked out. So here's the thing of the patterns. Guitar patterns, diatonic, modal, circles. Here we have string shapes. Basic string shape assignments: D 2 3 4, A 5 6, E 7 root 2, C 3 4 5, and G 6 7 root. And yeah, as you go along the fretboard, that's what you got. Starting on D, I'll just play them up. 2 3 4, 5 6. Okay, 7 root 2. 3 4 5, and then from 3 4 5 we go like 6 7 root. That's an octave below this way up here. So that's them in fifths, in actually fourths. What is it? They're supposed to be going up in fifths. So the fifth of D, yes, they go up. The strings always go up in fourths, but the string shapes go up in fifths. If I wanted to play them in caged, I just play the word caged. So D ain't going to go to A, D goes to C. This skips A, and you get a fifth. So it'd be 2 3 4, and then C shape 3 4 5, 2 3 4, then 3 4 5. Okay, then 5 6, then 6 7 root, then 7 root 2, then 2 3 4. That's in caged. In the key of D, actually, that was something like that, because we started on the D shape with that E, so we were in the key of D. If we make that E the third, then we're in the key of C. C, A, G, E, D. Those are the string shapes. They're always labeled, unless we're trying to focus in on one string shape and we don't want the label to the other ones that are half of one and half the other. They're accidentals if you want to look at it as these are virtual ivories, and these are virtual accidentals, black notes, bookends, but it doesn't have to be that way. Okay, if you want to move the 3 up, it could be F sharp. You know, it doesn't matter. But for our purposes, to keep it simple, if you want to keep it simple, and I do suggest, if you have any issues at all about is this applicable to other keys and all that stuff, if you could just trust me that it is, just look at it as the key of C. So the lowest note on the guitar is that E. E is the third of C. So these are the patterns. This is the finger bar pattern, and it goes over to the left, so it's best started away from the fret nut. So right there, you'd have to look at a different key if you wanted to play from 3 to 3 like here. You'd have to maybe go into instead of the key of C, maybe go into the key of C sharp. What is F the third of? F is the third of the key of C sharp or D flat, because it goes. Now that F is minor. That's one of my favorite things to play, believe me. I mean, as a piano player, F minor. Okay, I forgot how to do it, but that's what it is. So if you take it up a half step, yeah, you can go over a half step there and not be playing in No string, no playland. So these, now we spent a little bit of time on here. This is the same as this. I've just blown it up here. This is the S5L. It's 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5. So when it says S5L on the keyboard, on the fretboard, you know this is what you're going to play. When it says S3L, you're going to play 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2. Now you have to adjust for the tuning warp. The guitar has a tuning warp. The cello does not have a tuning warp. It's all perfect fifths. There's no string in the cello that isn't the same interval of the string below it or above it. The guitar has a tuning warp, so you play these patterns through the tuning warp. That's why we're always doing one of these, right? We're always doing one of these things. Okay, well, we'll have to play it up one because the B, we're making a B instead of a C as the fourth. So that's why we're always moving something up with that tuning warp. So then we would play this. This is the pattern we would play for the C box. For the C box. And the C box is great because a C is on the bottom of it. That defines that box. And we don't have to worry about long patterns like the S3XL. We can just play the finger barred pattern, the lead pattern, the pattern you can play away from that fret nut at least by one, only one fret. So not good news to people who like to play open chords, but you can work with it because eventually you're going to end up going up the neck a little bit to the next cage up. You got like a half position here, and then you go up to the next position up. So this is the C. These two guys have been warped up. Okay, so and we're going to find out how to play that C. We're going to play these guys. So now that we have talked about the patterns, we talked about the S3XL, the S3L. And this is just, L means long, as opposed to what? Long as opposed to short. You see this little box here? That's a pentatonic scale. So that would be an S3S. Okay? So that right there would be an S3S. How would we signify that? We would simply do this. We would simply go, that is an S3S right there. See in the red box? S3S. Okay, so that's a pentatonic scale. This is also pentatonic if we don't look at the 4 and we don't look at the root. So let's just grab a little white here. Let's go back to cursor mode a second. I'll get myself a little white paint on my palette here. Okay, and we can take out the 4, and we'll take out the 7. Now we have a pentatonic scale with an S3S there and an S2L because it's long. See how it's a long triangle, a long rectangle? Some people see things. See how it's a short rectangle. So that's the name of that tune. Okay, so the patterns are over here. The one string patterns are 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Well, actually what they are is by letter. So we've got one example up here. Here's an S1A. It's just the A string shape, which is a short string shape by definition. It's the only string shape that's only 2. And the reason why it's only 2 is because it's the only 2 notes in a scale, 4 and 5.